Hey everybody, welcome back to Horton's Flower Farm. If you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Claudette. I own and operate a U-Pick flower farm in Zone 7B, Long Island, New York. But I also will be operating a flower farm in Zone 8A, and that is in North Carolina. So yes, I will be running two farms. This video is about expanding. And if you watch my other videos, I did mention that I will be having a flower farm here, but there are plans for expanding. So I'm going to explain what that means, what that's going to mean for everything that I'm doing. And I have all the plans laid out for next year. It's been a month since I posted a video, and there's a lot of things that happened in the month, so I want to share them with you. Okay guys, so first off, you know about the U-Pick flower farm on Long Island, and we moved last year, but we decided to hold the flower farm. We'll be going back there in the summer, but we actually will be going back there in April to prep the land, to move all our stuff, in May to put the plants in, and then back in July for a whole month to run the farm for 5 weeks and then have other people help me run the farm. But in between that, I am going to be having another flower farm in North Carolina. And many of you were asking, are you going to do a U-Pick flower farm? And it's been very hard to find land. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. We found a piece of land for a hot second, and I'll show you a couple pictures of what it is. And we actually decided against not doing the U-Pick flower farm there this year. There's still some hope of land that might happen, but as for now, there is expansion happening on my property for the retail part of it, which was I was going to do bouquets and drop them off. I'm going to show you all the plans, the different flowers. I'm going to be growing flowers I've never even grown in New York that I'm going to be growing, so I'm excited about those. So where to start? Okay, so Horton's Flower Farm is happening. I showed you guys that video of the plans, what I'm planting there, how that is going. So my focus now became on North Carolina. What do I want to do in North Carolina? And I wanted to do a U-Pick flower farm in North Carolina, but I thought this might be insane to do a U-Pick flower farm because it'd be opening in the beginning of June. Then I'd be running back to New York and running that one and running back and running back. So I said, all right, if I find land, maybe I'll start a U-Pick flower farm. It'll be a fall U-Pick flower farm when I get back from New York. We'll run it from beginning of September to the beginning of November because there's a long growing season here. So one of my my gardener, I asked him if he knew anyone who had land, and he said he actually had land in his backyard, which he said I could lease from him. So we went and we saw it, and the land was really nice. Actually, it was 4 acres in the back. It was nice, but I'm going to show a couple pictures here. It was under power lines, and that's not even my issue. It was still really pretty. My issue was really just, it was, behind his house. They had to go through a driveway, through his driveway. I didn't know how that would kind of sit with people. I don't want my first people here to taste of a U-Pick flower farm to be something where it's like not uncomfortable, but not the best situation. There's so much land here, even though it's hard to find to farm on, where it's on a main road. You could just pull onto it. I was excited. I even took a picture. I was like, this is going to be my U-Pick flower farm. I was telling a couple of friends. And then I said, you know what? I don't think I want this to be the first one. I think I'm jumping into it too quickly I want to find something that's just perfect, just right. Plus it's a lot of pressure to find people to work it and going back and forth. So I said, okay, no, let's not do this. So my husband said to me, we have so much land in the back. Why don't you just try and do what you said you were going to do, which is put bouquets in different places. So there's a lot of different farmers, markets, yes, but I don't really want to do farmers markets. I want to do, there's a place like a farm stand in our area 15 minutes away, and farmers drop off their things that they have, like eggs, milk, breads, and things like that, and you put it there and people come pick it up. It's open all week, and you give a percentage to the person who runs it. So I messaged him, and he said that he would put my flowers in there. It's a 25% of he would get of what they charge. And I said, that's totally fine. That would be awesome. So he said, yes. I'm trying to find another location, but what I want to do, like I said, is this first year, grow the flowers in my backyard, make the bouquets and drop them at least 2 to 3 locations, hopefully selling about 30 bouquets a week. And if I'm selling 30, I'm profiting $20 on each one. That's $600 a week times like 10 weeks, probably $6,000, which would be awesome. That would, everything I'm spending right now in North Carolina is probably around $2,000. I probably profit $4,000. Now, the funny part about that is if you listen to everything that I've talked about with Hortons, I've yet to profit over there. So if I were to profit over here, it's been everything that I talk about these videos. Start small, try and profit, grow your business that way. So that's not, if I'm profiting even $3,000, I'm profiting. A lot of people don't even profit. They drop so much money into everything. So I would be fine with a $3,000 to $4,000 profit. So let me show you what I'm going to be doing for my flower farm here in North Carolina. I'm going to get you the picture of the whole layout, and I'm going to tell you the flowers that I'm growing, different, same, and why. Okay, so one really big difference about here in New York is I'm going to be leaning heavily into dahlias. I didn't do many dahlias in New York because you had to dig them up, you had to store them. I didn't have the time or the space to do that. Here in North Carolina, you can leave the dahlias in the ground if you have them in the ground correctly. So here it's not so much that the temperature will kill the dahlias, even though I'm gonna say it was 11 degrees last night. And that is very rare. We had snow twice already. So even though what I'm saying should be true, the weather can kill different things. But technically, it doesn't really get that cold here usually. So you usually can keep the dahlias in the ground. You just worry more about the clay soil holding too much moisture, and they lose a lot more dahlias down here to rot rather than the temperature, freezing temperatures killing them. So my plans are to plant 200 dahlias, which I'm really excited about. I ordered 50 so far from Swan, and I'll be buying another, another 100 from private sellers in the area and in New York. And I ordered some plugs, which I talked about last year. Farmer Bailey's does cuttings, and the cuttings are a great deal. I'm getting 50 cafe au laits and 50 of another variety. I used it last year, and they are $1 each per cutting, and they grow just like a regular dahlia tuber. Now I didn't grow the cafe au laits, but the other variety grew amazing. It had amazing tubers at the end of the season, so it is so worth it. But you have to get 50. So if you're not putting in a larger space, that's a lot to have. I mean, you could sell them if you wanted to, and as plants, which would be really cool. I'm going to be giving a couple to some people in my neighborhood, just as gifts. I'm new in the area, so just want to be nice and give some away. Okay, so I wrote out this whole paper, and this is the whole layout for next year. So just take a look at it for a second. I'm going to explain all of it. It was originally just going to be this section over here. Not even these, actually. I was just going to do dahlias and 3 rows here. And I said that is definitely going to not be enough space, which is why we were looking for another location. But my backyard has a lot of room. And what we did was we figured that we could have all these spots, and I'll show you in a little bit matching up where everything is, but I just want to go over some of the flowers that I'm doing. Okay, so this is the dahlias here. This is where 75 are going to go. Over here are going to be 3 rows, 22 feet each of zinnias, 22 by 4 feet wide right here. These 2 rows are going to be full on celosia, and that is 20 by 4s over here. Now over here I have, this is like a little raised bed area that came with the house. There'll be some fillers in here. I'm going to be putting dill, sweet Annie, there's already rosemary, forget-me-not, phlox, and nigella over in that area. And that space is a 14, so this is 14 by 6 area here, and then the walkway, and then 14 by 6. So, and I wrote exactly how many plants of each one I can plant. If you're interested, you could see them there, like 100 dill, 100 nigella. I'm spacing them pretty tightly to be able to do that. So that's how it's going. Let me just circle back to the celosia. So the celosia can fit 160 per row. So that's 320 celosia plants. And then the zinnias are going to be about 170 per bed. So that's a lot right there. And then the other part, which we're going to add over here, and we're going to get a lot more room out of it. We are going to be putting Rudbeckia, Amaranth, Cosmos, Verbena, Goldenrod, and then here we're going to be putting Gomphrena, and over here we're going to be putting basil, some marigolds, straw flowers, and those are 23 by 3s over here. So you can see there's a lot of space. So I think that these could definitely do probably, so I never had dahlias before. And I would say, it could get a good, probably 30, 40 bouquets a week out of all this. The dahlias are going to be putting off a lot of bigger focal flowers. And that's amazing because they fill out the bouquet so much. So if you have a lot of focal flowers like that, you don't have to put as many other things in it, which is awesome. The only thing I didn't mention, but over here I have it written down here, is I'm going to be putting sunflowers. I'm going to be putting branching sunflowers, about 250, more towards the front of my yard. I probably could put them in the back. The only issue with the back is there's some trees and the house blocks. So the way that I had to situate this was so that the trees in the house weren't blocking for sunlight purposes. Can't plant on my front lawn because I'm in an HOA. Otherwise, I would just take up that whole thing and I just have a flower farm right there. But I can't do that. But I will put sunflowers along the side there because that's fine. It's flowers, sunflowers, it'll look pretty. So that's how that's gonna go. Now, I wanted to also source out some sunflowers, meaning find a farm in the area and maybe get 50 sunflowers a week. But if I can make that happen with my branching sunflowers, but I don't know if I can get 50. And it depends if I want to even use the sunflowers. I'm going to have a lot of dahlias. I might not even need them. I've never, really arranged with dahlias before. So this is going to be very new for me in terms of making bouquets that have dahlias. So these are the new plans. These are the flowers that I'm getting. The seeds that I'm getting. Now, you're probably asking, or you should be asking, how are you doing this? Are you growing these? Are you getting plugs from someone nearby? Where are you getting them? How are you doing this? Because in New York, what I did was I am all plugs now, and I get them from a local grower, and I direct seed a little bit, but it's very minimal. It's all by plugs. So what I'm doing here is I was going to just direct seed in simple, just the only flowers I could direct seed in because I don't have that much time and I haven't found a grower nearby. So I went back to my old way before I found my nearby grower in New York, which is Farmer Bailey's, which I mentioned, right? Because I said I was getting the dahlias from Farmer Bailey's. So I placed probably a $500 order. I was gonna grow these, by the way, and my husband thought I was crazy, and it's true, I'm crazy, because there's no way I should be growing. It's not about the growing it, I can grow it. The problem is I'm going back and forth to New York, and how am I gonna keep these alive if I'm traveling back and forth here to New York, here to New York? It's just not gonna happen. So I'm gonna tell you what I ordered from there. I ordered the verbena. I ordered a tray of verbena, a tray of Rudbeckia, a tray of goldenrod, a tray of, what else did I order a tray of? Oh, a tray of celosia, and then the 2 sets of dahlias, which was 100 dahlias, so roughly $500. The verbena are perennial, the Rudbeckia are perennial, the goldenrod are perennial, so I'm investing in perennials, guys. And the dahlias technically will be perennial because I can take them out. So the things I invested in, I think it's a good investment because they're perennial. And I didn't want to spend that much, but it's what happened because you're paying for convenience and not stress. And if I kill all those flowers, I should have just paid the $500 to have them. So that is what's happening. I've expanded. We are still in New York. We're going to be doing the farm in New York. So this spring, these are going to be a ton of videos because in April, like I said, we're going to New York to move all of our stuff till the new land. We're going to come back here. Then in May, we're going to go again to plant in the flowers there. As soon as we come back, these flowers are being delivered from Farmer Bailey's first week of June. And then all my stuff is going in the ground here in North Carolina. Plus I'll be direct seeding a lot. Then I will watch this stuff grow for 3 weeks and go to New York for a month to start running the flower farm. Come back to North Carolina for 2 weeks in August to check on everything. Then I will go back to New York for 2 more weeks to do the farm there, and then I'll be back here in September to start making the bouquets, arranging them, dropping off all the places. You'll get to come with me, see everything, where the stands are going to go. And if you're asking how do you run a farm in New York and here, New York, I have employees. I have somebody who's going to help me run the farm this year. It's going to be a lot more help than last year or the prior years. So I'll be paying money for all those things. Will I be profitable? Hey, that'd be great, but I'm really just doing that. Really all this I'm doing for the love of it. I'd love to profit, and I think it has potential to profit in New York if we got our name out there. Hey, you never know. So it's a lot of work, and it could eventually profit, but I'm just enjoying having the flowers and having, the people come pick them and hopefully enjoy these bouquets in North Carolina too. So there it is, guys. And the seasons are about to start. So please comment below if you want to tell me what you're growing this year. I mentioned a couple new things that I haven't grown yet, which were the Nigella I never grew, the Sweet Annies I never grew. Let's see, something else was on there I never grew. Oh, and the Dahlias I never grew either. So let me know what it is you're growing. I'm going to be growing my straw flowers again this year. I loved those, but they weren't appropriate for You Pick Flower Farm for me. Okay, so I will see you guys in the next video. I'm sorry it was so long in between. Everything's been crazy. And I will see you on the next video, and we'll see what happens in a couple weeks. Bye, guys.